Looking for organizations with diplomatic agreements with Kenya, that is including the United Nations, who have not been paying taxes will soon be deducted pay as you earn, that is PAYE, every month. That is if the latest communication by the Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs is anything to go by. The move is seen as Kenya Kwanza's administration's bid to widen the tax bracket, as George Maringa tells us.
I have the honor to welcome His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya.
It is not a secret that the president has set an ambitious target for tax collection in the country. And now the government is going for tax-exempt Kenyans working for international organizations. The Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs has issued a circular asking all organizations that have signed host country agreements with Kenya to facilitate payment of income tax for their local staff. The host country agreements, a type of international social security agreement, is usually in line with the United Nations Conventions on Diplomacy. The Ministry of Foreign and Diaspora Affairs in its letter says, Section 37 of the Income Tax Act, Chapter 470, Laws of Kenya provides that, and I quote, an employer paying emoluments to an employee shall deduct therefrom and account for tax thereon to such extent and in such manner as be described. This places responsibility on such organizations as employers to deduct income tax from local staff and remit it to the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA. Some of the organizations with host country immunity with Kenya include Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP, MasterCard Foundation, European Investment Bank, and the World Agroforestry Centre, ICRAF. Article 5, Section 18 of the Convention on the Privileges and Immunities of the United Nations, adopted in 1946, officials of the United Nations shall, among other privileges, be exempt from taxation on the salaries and emoluments paid to them by the United Nations. Data from the United Nations shows that more than 18 UN agencies operate in Kenya, employing some 5,000 local and international staff. This includes 2 United Nations programs, the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP and the UN Human Settlements Programme, that is UN Habitat, which have their global headquarters in Kenya, making Nairobi the only United Nations headquarters duty station in the developing world. In the meantime, the National Social Security Fund NSSF deductions on pay above 36,000 Kenya shillings will double. Effective February 2024, NSSF contributions will go up from the current 1,080 shillings to 2,160 shillings. Both employer and employee will match equal contributions of 6% of the employee's earnings up to the figure defined as the lower earnings limit for the year. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, George.